In this video, I'm going to give you a 5-minute summary of the whole of Macbeth. Now, I want to stress that this is helpful purely if you just need a recap on the plot. We've got a much deeper analysis available on the course website and on YouTube, along with Grade 9 model essays and general Grade 9 standard knowledge as well. So use this video if you just need a quick, low-key recap of how things unfold in the play. Now, in Act 1 of Macbeth, we are introduced to the protagonist, Macbeth, a brave and loyal thane. After a victorious battle, Macbeth and his friend Banquo encounter 3 witches who prophesy that Macbeth will become the Thane of Cawdor and eventually the King of Scotland, while Banquo is also told his descendants will inherit the throne. Macbeth is intrigued but sceptical until he is named Thane of Cawdor almost immediately afterwards. Spurred by ambition and the influence of his wife, Lady Macbeth, they plot to murder King Duncan and seize the throne, igniting a whole argument of whether him becoming king is an act of fate or free will. Act 2 centres around the execution of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's plan. Macbeth murders King Duncan in his sleep but is immediately filled with guilt and paranoia, being unable to pray and cleanse his hands of the guilt. Lady Macbeth, showing ruthless determination, helps conceal the crime. Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, flee for their lives, fearing they will be next. Their departure casts suspicion on them, allowing Macbeth to ascend to the throne. However, the seeds of Macbeth's psychological unravelling are now sown, along with the wide-scale turmoil of Scotland, whose citizens bear witness to strange, unnatural occurrences due to the disruption of the Great Chain of Being. Moving on to Act 3, we have Macbeth's reign as king, and that is marked by paranoia and tyranny. He remembers the witch's prophecy about Banquo's descendants, and fearing Banquo's potential threat, he arranges for Banquo and his son Fleance to be murdered. Banquo is killed, but Fleance escapes. At a royal banquet, Macbeth is haunted by Banquo's ghost, causing him to behave erratically in front of his guests. Lady Macbeth tries to manage the situation, but Macbeth now feels capable enough to act alone, diminishing her previous sense of power and purpose. Act 4 sees Macbeth returning to the witches, seeking more prophecies for security. They offer him cryptic warnings and assurances, leading him to believe he is invincible. Because one of the messages is to beware Macduff, out of supposed caution and paranoia, Macbeth orders the massacre of Macduff and his family. The murderers storm his residence and kill his wife and children as Macduff is not there. Macduff, the Thane of Fife to be precise, has fled to England to join forces with Malcolm to overthrow Macbeth. He is devastated when he hears of the barbaric murder of his family. Act 4 sets the stage for Macbeth's downfall as Macduff and Malcolm rally forces to challenge him. The final act, Act 5, portrays Macbeth's descent into madness and the collapse of his reign. Lady Macbeth, tormented by guilt, succumbs to insanity and eventually dies. Macbeth, isolated and defiant, clings to the witch's prophecies, believing he cannot be defeated. However, 2 of the prophecies are proven to be deliberately deceiving as Malcolm's forces advance, camouflaged with branches from Birnam Wood, and then, in the final confrontation, Macduff reveals he was not born of woman in the usual way, but delivered by caesarean section. He kills Macbeth, fulfilling the other prophecy to beware Macduff, and thus ends Macbeth's tyrannical rule. Malcolm, King Duncan's son, gains the throne, bringing peace back to Scotland.